Ladies and gentlemen, you hear the music. You're probably wondering, what the hell am I listening to? Well, I'll tell you what you're listening to. Welcome to the inaugural debut of the Faces and Heel podcast. Yes, you heard correctly. You know what a face is. And if you don't, you're in the wrong business. Because there's two kind of people in this world, ladies and gentlemen. There's faces and there's heels. And you'll figure out who's who as we get into the introduction. And there goes my theme music. We're already off to a great fucking start. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mike the Prez Zappa, coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. We got our man Dowd, Casey Dowd out of Providence, Rhode Island. And of course, DC out of the beautiful city of Boston, Massachusetts. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Dowd.
Well, here we go. This podcast has been a long time in the making. We've been wrestling fans for decades. We have decades of experience. And we just want to start off with the state of the product. Prez, what do you think about wrestling, WWE having the lowest TV ratings in years? And does it even matter?
Yeah, well, where do you want me to start? I mean, anybody and everybody that's listening to this knows that the product right now is grade A garbage. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, DC, he's been watching for years. I've been watching since 1986 when Hogan had hair on his head. This product sucks. I mean, I don't even know where to start, honestly. I mean, the architect's DC's kid is even crying in the back because it sucks so bad.
Well, yeah, you could probably hear her in the back right now. I mean, I think this isn't, earth shattering, but I think it all starts with the amount of TV, the amount of content. I think there's way too much content out there right now. Whether it be 3 hours every Monday, 2 hours every Tuesday, all the stuff they're putting on the network, pay-per-views that aren't even really pay-per-views anymore. They're happening once a month. They're not special anymore. Oh. And I just think that they're making a ton of money, so they don't really give a fuck. But it's a tough task for a writer to fill all that time and make any kind of match special when you're seeing these quote unquote main event matches every week. We saw it last week with Nakamura and Kevin Owens. That should be a huge build to a pay-per-view, and we just got it for free on SmackDown after zero build.
Yep. I mean, that the Payback pay-per-view was what? Last week, right?
Yeah.
That 3-hour Raw after averaged 2.86 million viewers. That set a 20-year low. A 20-year fucking low. And I'll tell you what, I blame Paul and I blame Vince. Those two have shit for brains. And it's actually upsetting because Paul knows this product better than anybody else. And I don't know if our listeners know who the hell Paul is. Paul Levesque. Okay?
I think it's Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque.
Whatever the fuck is, I call him Levesque. He doesn't even get my respect. It's Paul. Paul is Triple H for all of you folks out there, okay? I don't know whose fault this is, whether it's Vince. I know he's got full control over it, Dowd, but I have to believe Paul is behind the driving.
Well,
listen to this.
Wait, can I just ask the Prez something real quick?
By all means.
Prez, what do you think of the NXT product as a whole? Because a lot of people out there are giving Paul all the credit. A lot of people love the NXT product, the total opposite of the main roster. And a lot of people give Paul all the credit for building up NXT and kind of being the architect behind that.
Well, you want to know why NXT is great? Because it's not oversaturated. Yep. You get it every once in a while, right? They'll throw the NXT pay-per-view out there, mirroring a pay-per-view. You don't have 3 hours of Raw content. You don't have another 2 hours of SmackDown content. You don't have 20, to 30 pay-per-views or events, whatever the hell you want to call it, in a 12-month calendar. It's just too sad. It's saturated, and not only that, it just sucks. The product is awful.
But Prez, half the guys on the roster now were the NXT and internet darlings, so they're on TV. Like, those are the people that the supposed marks want to see, and they're always on TV. You have WWE has revenue coming in from television, from the network, from international online sales.
Yeah, I know. That's why they don't care. That's what I'm saying. Like, the money is coming in.
Every live event is sold out. Every live event.
Yeah, because Paul is wiping his ass with $100 bills. So is Vince. And when they just don't care. Like, it's not even a wrestling business anymore. It's an entertainment. What is WWE not doing? You can brush your teeth with their toothbrushes. You can wipe their ass with toilet paper. You can wear T-shirts. They're everywhere you go. They're in marathons. I just saw Stephanie. She's going to be running in a 20-mile marathon in New York. Like, everything is everything, but they don't even focus on wrestling anymore. Like, the creative is awful.
Well, a lot of the creative, they're not wrestling fans. They're Hollywood writers and so forth. They don't really, they're right. They are. You're right. It's not a wrestling show anymore. It's just a show. It's like a sports entertainment show, and that's why they call it, sports entertainment. They're so, they never call it wrestling anymore.
No,
they can't call it. They're banned from calling it wrestling.
Yeah, it's Vince's dirty word. I mean, I hear it a little bit more now that, mainstream has picked up on Vince's dirty words, and I think he's let up on it a little bit because he sounded like a goddamn tyrant. But yeah. So I don't know. Go ahead, Dab.
Well, let's look at actually what is on TV right now,
What is that fucking sound? It sounds DC. Is that you making popcorn?
No, I mean, I'm in. The only thing that's in the room right now is the air conditioner and me. I know I got some audio problems over here for week 1, but
all right, it's all right. We're gonna fight through it. We're gonna keep moving forward. Let's talk about what is on TV or who is not on TV. Brock Lesnar, for one. Can we get a champion on Raw? Like, is that too much to ask, I guess?
I mean, I don't know. I think I know what they're doing, right? They're trying to pull the Hulk Hogan, kind of treatment where, it's Brock Lesnar is a special attraction. And I get it. That's what he needs to be. Brock Lesnar is a special attraction. He shouldn't be on TV every week, because if he did, we'd be complaining about it. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar every fucking week. But we haven't seen him on TV since WrestleMania. When the hell was that? 3 months ago?
Well,
I forgot what the goddamn championship belt looks like.
You don't want to remember what the hell it looks like, but I am in the pro Brock Lesnar camp. I like the fact that he has the title because I think it's to me it's like realistic. No one can beat that guy, and he is a special attraction. I don't think he should be fighting every week. I think he should be on TV more, but I don't think he should be fighting. I think he should only be fighting at pay-per-views, and maybe not even every pay-per-view. But I think to keep people interested in the title, I think either he should be there more often, to go out there and cut a promo or whatever the case may be. But I like that that the championship seems like special, and that it's we just talked about oversaturation and too much content. I like that we don't get to see it defended a lot. It makes it more meaningful to me.
You don't think it waters things down a little bit? And what the hell else are these other guys fighting for?
I mean, I think first, I mean, not to get too off the topic, I think there should just be one champion, period. The fact that there's a Raw and a SmackDown champion, there's we don't have 2 NBA champions, do we? Like an East and a West, like there's one champion, right? There's one NFL champion. So if you're one company, if you're WWE, there should be one champion. And I think that person should be able to go, back and forth from show to show. As far as like, Monday goes, again, I have no problem with Brock being the champ. And, defending it, the amount of times he defends it.
Sure.
But, I know I'm in the minority. I know I'm in the minority for that. I know a lot of people are the total opposite.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of our other champion, our WWE champion, Jinder Mahal, on the SmackDown branch.
Maharaja. I'm a big fucking fan of this guy. I'll tell you what. I love it. And I love that the internet community is up in arms. Who is this guy? 3 months ago he was jobbing out to, the Patriots, Gronkowski. I love it. I love it. In fact, I love it so much. They just redid his intro package. They got like a red carpet as he walks out on the LED. It's just fantastic.
Would you expect anything less for a Maharaja? I mean, come on,
man, it's gold. I love it, and I love that the internet community is so pissed. All these little 12-year-old marks are out. Who is this guy? He didn't deserve it. Let me tell you something. This guy's gold. He's roided up. I don't care what anybody says. The guy's got his veins have veins, and those veins have veins. Like, this guy is so jacked up. It's fantastic.
I mean, he's a big dude for sure. Like,
I mean, how the hell is
6'5", 225? It's huge.
I just like the character. I mean, it's definitely like I don't know. He just seems like a larger than life person almost. I don't know what it is. Like, he was a jobber 3 weeks ago, and now the guy, like, he just seems so legit. He comes out in those suits. He's got the belt. He's jacked out of his mind, and he's cutting unbelievable promos on TV. He's very believable. Like, it's a fresh breath of air for sure on SmackDown to have him the champ. Yeah. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Obviously, we know that it was mainly due to the fact that they're expanding over to India, but like, I think he's doing a hell of a job, so I don't know why they would take I wouldn't take the belt off him anytime soon.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, their stadiums are still selling out, but where's the money in Jinder Mahal? Like, are people buying his swag? Like,
what swag? The fucking guy, he became champion. I go on WWE Shop to just kind of see what they have. They didn't even have a keychain out for the guy. It's just perfect. I think this is the first time ever in WWE history where they pushed a guy. Not only did they push the guy, but they made him a champion, and he didn't have one iota of merch. What a heel!
Well, he's a true heel, dude. It's great. We don't see that too often.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
Like, no one likes him. Like he's not like a cool heel. Like, everyone like legit hates the guy.
Yeah, I love it. I love how he's got two little goons, right by his side. It's just fantastic TV. I hope they continue to build his character. He's such a goddamn heel. He started talking. I didn't know India had another language. I mean, do they have another language? Dowd?
I have no idea.
I've never heard like an Indian language. That motherfucker started talking another language. I'm like, what a heel.
Well, they have. They do have their own language other than English.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard him talking on like Iranian. I don't know the fucking guys from. I got a boner the size of a house. I'm like, this is great TV. I gotta get some merch.
You're definitely selling me on Jinder Mahal.
Are you not sold on Jinder Mahal, Dowd?
I'm not sold yet. I look at the guy and I see. They tried to do the swerve. They tried to just surprise everybody with this, and I guess that's a good thing. But I look at the guy, and I guess I got to see more.
You know what? I knew, like, I didn't really know. There was the sense that he was going to win that match. Obviously, why would he even be in the match in the first place? But as that match went on, I knew it. Like the two little goons, like the two little guys, they weren't getting involved, and I knew that they were going to have to get involved at some point. And you just could tell, like, as the match went on, that he was going to win that match.
Hell yeah. Well, something a little maybe less controversial, much more exciting. Women's Money in the Bank match coming up.
Love it.
You ever think you'd say that out loud? I mean,
come on. The match, Dowd.
That's a good question. Charlotte Flair.
Who's in the fucking match? You don't even know who's in the match. That's
I just can't wait to see
I'll
it.
tell
I
you.
just can't wait
I'll
to
tell
see
you
it.
who's in the match. I'll tell you who's in the match. Because I actually I love Money in the Bank. It's probably my second favorite pay per view behind Mania. So I'm
I know Hogsworth's in the
Hogsworth
match.
is his ladies in there. So you got Charlotte Flair, Becky, Carmella, Tamina, and who the hell else is in there? Oh, Natty, and that might be it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm missing one person. There's 6 people.
Prez, are we proving your point here? Are we proving your point?
That's my point. Like, it's just it's just awful. Like, Carmella, have you seen that woman come out and the kind of ill response she gets from the fans? I mean, she comes out and starts moonwalking like an idiot. Like, there is no gimmick with her. She sucks. The only time I want to see her come out is because Hogwarts is following her out.
Well, he's like, I mean, he's the reason why I think why I want to see her win that match. Actually, I love seeing
Because
that.
of Hog?
I would love seeing it, like him just being around that, like walking around with that the woman's Money in the Bank briefcase for the next however many months.
I mean, like,
think about the match. Like Charlotte, she doesn't need to win that, right? She's not gonna win. Becky, like, you don't want a face to win the friggin' Money in the Bank because it's not as fun, right? Like, they're never gonna like cash it in. Like, they're never gonna be, they're never gonna use it to their advantage. Really, they're just gonna kind of play by the rules. But like, so you're eliminating Becky, Charlotte. Tamina's not gonna win the match. I think Natty probably will win it. I just have a feeling, but I think Carmella, that's the choice right there. To have Hogsworth walking around with that thing. Come on, man. That's great TV.
That's something I would tune into, or I would make a point to.
I know you're like, I'm not saying I'm a huge Carmella guy because I'm not at all. I think they brought her up way too soon. She shouldn't be on the main roster right now. They did it wrong. But like, all I'm saying she gets no reaction. I get it. She sucks in the ring, but she's good on the mic, and she was popular in NXT. They should have brought her up. They should have either left her down there, or they should have brought her up with Enzo and Cass and let her, once she was over with them, maybe break away on her own. And I think she would have been way better off. I mean, you look at a person, I was thinking about this week, you look at like Alana, who came out last week and got a huge pop and has never done anything in the ring, but it's because she's been brought along kind of as a manager, and she's just got over with the crowd that way. And
she's got a nice dumper. That's the only reason why she's getting a pop. She can't wrestle.
Well, she can't wrestle either, but Carmella's obviously a very hot woman as well. So, I mean, like, I just think if they built her up the same way they built Lana up, she would be. They just went the wrong way with her. I mean, I don't think there's any saving her at this point, but I think they could have made her, into something better than what she is. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I think she might. I think she's probably like second. If I had to put money on it right now, I would say like Natty's probably the favorite, and then Carmella.
No, I think Tamina. I think she's out of there. I think Charlotte is obviously, she's gonna go. You got Becky Lynch that is just all. I just can't buy. I can't buy into the Becky Lynch stock.
No.
Why not?
And that leaves Natty and Carmella.
Yeah. And I think we're missing someone.
so-
I'm pretty sure we're missing a 6th person, but maybe I'm wrong though.
It's Tamina, it's Natty, it's Charlotte, it's Carmella, and it's Lynch.
So you think we're
And Lana. I think the Russian.
No.
Isn't the Russian in there?
No,
too?
she's not in it. She's fighting for the title
okay.
that night.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Hogsworth may get involved.
Yeah.
He may interfere, and then all of a sudden, Carmella walks out with the championship, and then then of course there's some comedy involved. I don't know. I mean, ever since Charlotte's gone over to the Blue brand, it's just
she's awful.
I don't think she belongs over there, to be honest.
No, it's very disappointing.
And and I blame creative for it.
They're trying to make her face, and like she doesn't even know how to be a face. She's just like,
No.
it's not like it's not believable. It's like Rollin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just awful. What do you think, Dad?
I think that Charlotte came out of the gate as potentially the best female wrestler in history. And once they moved her to SmackDown, they lost all that momentum.
Yep.
She's a heel, like you guys are saying. She's controversial. You know, I mean, didn't she spend like a half hour telling her father why he sucked as a dad? You know, like on Raw, but over on SmackDown, I don't know, hugging people. It's awful. It's disappointing that they can look at a talent like that and just say, "Yeah, we'll put you over here for now." Like, are you kidding me? Like, she should be dominating every woman's storyline, and she's not. But you know, who are we?
She's a heel. She's a natural born heel.
That's it. Misusing her, and then it just sucks.
Doesn't belong on SmackDown at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole women's thing is all up in the air. It's crazy. I know you're a big fan of Lana coming back, but honestly, I think that's a shit show in itself because you got her on Twitter shitting all over kayfabe. You got her on Total Divas shitting all over kayfabe. No accent, and then all of a sudden I see her on Talking Smack with the accent. It's like you're not fooling anybody. The only thing that you're doing is shitting on the fan. You're insulting my intelligence because we all know you don't have a Russian accent, you idiot. Like, who do I blame? Do I blame her for not going to Vince and saying, Vince, this isn't believable anymore. Everybody knows I'm not from Russia. On the USA Network on Raw, I'm talking like a Russian. On the USA Network, 15 minutes after Raw is over, I'm on the WWE Network with no accent. Shitting on kayfabe.
Well, it's funny. It's funny because when she came out last week as like the new, the repackaged Lana, I was watching it with Meg actually, and I said, she's not gonna have the Russian accent anymore. I thought that was the time to like take it away. She's like on her own. She's like a new character. Yeah. And then
get on the old gimmick.
And then she still had the accent. I like couldn't believe it. I thought for sure they were gonna take it away from her.
Yep. And again. That's why I blame creative. That's why I blame Paul, and that's why I blame Vince. They continue to insult the fans' intelligence over and over and over. That's what makes me tune out, honestly. Like the minute I saw Lana sitting next to Shane O'Mac with her ridiculous Russian accent that she shit all over, like if she didn't shit on kayfabe, then I'd be okay with it. But she's shitting all over the product, disrespecting kayfabe on Twitter, on Snapchat with putting little Rusev and little bunny ears. Like, she shits all over the product. And now I'm supposed to sit there as a 30-something-year-old and say, this is great entertainment. No, I shut it off. And the only reason why I watched is because of this podcast. Otherwise, I probably would have done something completely different, like watch porn.
Prez, you dropped off. How old are you again?
Yeah, you're dropping off again with that.
I think we're all dropping off. You know what it is? We're so frustrated that we're overwhelming our software here. Yeah. So one final thing before we go. Well,
talk about, why don't you tell the listeners like what they're going to expect in our podcast? Like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, what to expect? What makes us different? What is going to differentiate us?
Well, we're going to give you honest opinions that are no holds barred. We're going to tell you what you need to know. And we're going to hopefully try to convince people to keep watching wrestling because there are great talents that are doing this. They're putting their bodies on the line for our wrestling entertainment. And even though Vince does have the monopoly and Vince has the monopoly, there's still reasons to watch. I mean, there are still moments. I've gone to 6 WrestleManias in a row, and when you're in that stadium and you're just feeling the energy, it's worth watching, but it's hard. So we're going to be there for the fans who need to be helped through this moment in time where, Vince is getting up there in age and he still has a lot of habits from 1984. And hopefully we can get some better writing and some more excitement out of it. That's what we're going to be here.
This is what I'll say, and I'll reiterate this on our second episode when we have the whole crew here. But this all started from our group text messages of us, mostly bitching about the product, in kind of ways what we think they're doing wrong, what we think they're doing right, but it's basically just kind of a carbon copy of our group, our wrestling text message group. You got the Prez, who you've heard most of this episode, who's the true heel. I'd say extra critical about the product. Is that safe to say?
I'd say so.
Then you got, me. I try to analyze. I don't agree with everything, but I try to make sense of why they are doing certain things based upon their business model. Not that I would do it that way type of thing. So I try to explain that part of it. And then you have Slick, who I don't even know what he's going to do. You guys will all meet him next week when he comes on the show. And then you got our host Dowd, and we'll have some reoccurring call-in people, hopefully, some call-in guests like the String. And yeah, we'll go from there. We'll have some reoccurring segments that we'll get into.
Sure. The segments are going to be fun. I think most importantly is just we're going to get some consistency out of. You're going to get you will be entertained, to say the least.
Yeah. So.
Yep. And listen, I'm one to just say how it is. And right now, for the first time, I would say in 25 years, I am lost with the product. I watched Raw religiously for 20 plus years. I would never miss. And I just feel like now the product, I don't know if I'm getting older or if the product sucks that bad to where it's just, I'm not in it. Like, I just don't feel good about it. And
I think there's really something to be said about the current climate we're in. You can't be controversial anymore without getting demands for people to be fired. Imagine all the stuff that was done. We always look back to the Attitude Era. 90% of that shit could not be done in this day and age on the USA Network without constant problems. And that sucks. There are ways around that. Better writing, better storylines. But, not trying to make excuses.
The USA Network is paying Vince a fucking boatload of cash. And the ratings suck, but I'm willing, and I don't pay attention to ratings, so I'm probably the last person to be saying this, but I'm willing to bet that Monday Night Raw and SmackDown are probably two of USA's bigger, better rating programs. Is that safe to say, or am I wrong?
No, you're on.
I'm wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So, they're pulling all the strings. They're paying Vince all the cash, and Vince is just gonna freaking do whatever the fuck they say, which kind of sucks because that's a huge revenue stream for him. They want 3 hours. I don't know if Vince actually wants 3 hours. Maybe he does. I don't know, but USA wants him on 3 hours because even though the ratings are declining, they're still that's still USA's probably top performing program, if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it is for revenue. It is for advertising. Yeah. They make so much cash, but what it's done, it's diluted the product. It's diluted the championships. It's diluted characters, creative. I mean, we'll all talk about this. I know that we got a couple minutes left to say goodbye, but we'll break it down week by week. We'll look at the product. We just wanted to get this first podcast out of the way and introduce ourselves. But you're gonna be getting in on we're gonna be starting to do this on a Tuesday night, right after the second shitty product hits, and that way it's fresh in your mind. We'll be able to shit all over it.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be fresh in our minds. Well, thank you for joining. Yes.
And what?
Thank you for joining.
The Dowd already wants to fucking end the podcast. I'm just saying you'll get Slick, the guy that shit all over our product because he was out with his wife having a fucking lobster.
Meanwhile, I got a 7-week-old out there screaming right now, and I'm here.
Yeah. You got DC with a little baby crying in the background, and he got Slick out with his old lady with 3 weeks' notice that we were going to be doing this, and the son of a bitch is eating like a bacon sandwich or something. I don't know. Ridiculous.
Well, everyone can look forward to Prez versus Slick on podcast number 2 of Faces and Heels.
All right.
Absolutely.
And hopefully,
Wow, thank you so much.
Hopefully, I get my mic fixed up for Pod 2 Tuesday night. We'll see.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
You gotta start. Where's our outro music, Dad?
You
gotta play us out.
I didn't get to say this, but I love that intro music. By the way, that's so fucking money. And the Prez, you timed it perfectly. You hit the post.
Yeah, there it is, buddy.
There it is.
Oh, that's
this has been the first edition of the Faces and Heels podcast. We'll see you next time. We're wishing everyone out there all the best in their future endeavors.